5 businesses, a lot of businesses in one, and I would just like to see how that was laid out timeline wise.
Okay, thank you so much for the feedback. Wonderful. Okay, yeah, we had a little recording issue, but it's back on, so it's all good. All right, and thank you for that. Our next participant will be Maxime.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Does it work? No?
Um,
Okay, wait, it's stopped the sharing.
no,
It's
we
back
can
again?
see it now. I feel like yeah, we can see it.
Okay, then I'll present it not in a slideshow way. So, hi everybody. My name is Maxim, and this is our solution Pitchflix. So our problem is to connect and founders and investors in a more efficient and scalable way. How do we approach that? So our idea was inspired by TikTok and Instagram Reels, basically bringing us 60 seconds videos from founders that investors will be able to access from their phones, computers, laptops, working, personal, and through that they can watch it whenever they can. So on the way, waiting there, in the car, stuck in the queue somewhere. And because of this, our unique selling proposition is that it's eliminating the traditional challenges. It's 24/7 access and seamless connection. So how our UX works? The founder on their side make a registration, make a credibility check on them, set up the profile for them, for their company, and record several videos. First is the 1-minute video that will be presented as initial material to investor, and another one is a video that in depth making the description of the company, how it works, and what they technically do. Our algorithms will parse the idea and parse the videos to extract the key terms and incorporate it with the information they provide for their profile and for their company by themselves. And based on that information, we can create better recommendations for investors and study their preferences based on the video they like or not. On the investor side, they also register, make a credibility check, set up their preferences, and start browsing. And the more they match and browse the companies, the more opportunities it will make and more relevant companies it will present to them. It leads to increased engagement because both founders and investors are working to creating more meaningful connections. How that impacts the business? First of all, we remove the traditional things such as endless email lists and chains and not ability to set up a meeting with an investor, because as soon as investors like the idea and likes the thing, it will allow the founder to set up a quick call meeting to explain their idea better, only if investors want, of course, and if they have enough availability. That also supports by several ways to monetize the solution. Our potential risks are breaches in information and convincing the traditional investors to go into traditional platforms, because not everybody likes these types of communication. And of course, unsuccessful matches will happen in any way. So in the conclusion, we're trying to create a platform that will be useful both for investors and the founder. And of course, investors will have the digital workflow where they can access both information and important information and sort people by stages, seeds, technologies, and the company they want to use. Yeah, and it all will try to integrate with AI. Thank you all for this and questions.
Amazing, 3 minutes exactly. Thank you so much, Maxime. Feedback from the judges.
Great job. Maybe I'm a sucker for like beautiful, clean simplicity, but I like love the just like the sort of clean, tight look of your slides and the aesthetics. I think similar to Charlie's comment before, there were like moments where I kind of wanted you to just like slow it down a little bit and kind of like just in general, whenever I hear like a founder pitch or startup pitch, like sort of varying and to be like, here's the big thing, you know. I think like creating moments to pause and to kind of get people's attention is always a great idea. But your presentation style in general was just like very engaging. So great job.
Yeah, I thought the flow was great.
Feedback.
Right, and you got 3 minutes, so being empathetic on that side. But yeah, great flow. This is a unique idea, so very cool.
Do you like?
Thank
what do
you
you
so
guys
much.
think of the idea in general? Like, is it relevant? Would you use something like that?
I think relevant. The one thing that I kept finding myself wondering is like, it feels very efficient, which is obviously like kind of one of the big pain points that we articulated. It made me like, I think that just like maintaining this like feel of being really high touch and really white glove. Like I gotta say, you touched on sort of how it maintains that, but like I found myself wondering a little bit more about that.
Okay, thank you so much. So next up we have
Thank you for
Tony.
the feedback.
Yeah, that was a really interesting idea, though, I have to say. Like that was kind of a bit more out of the box, right? So that was cool. Okay,
Thanks.
Tony, are you ready? All right,
Yeah,
and Tony has 3 minutes starting now.
that's beautiful. Okay, thank you for having me today. I'm Tony and founder of Realytics. I'm sorry, can you see my presentation at the moment?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay.
Okay, but I cannot do this. Just a moment.
Sure, maybe try resharing with us.
Yeah, I will try.
If you want to have a couple of minutes, I think Adilet really wants to present, so maybe he can go next.
Yeah, it's better. Just give me a moment.
Adilet, where are you located? I feel like it's really late where you are.
I located in Astana, Kazakhstan. It's
Okay, yeah, so it's like nighttime. All right, go ahead.
2 a.m.
Mhm.
So, oh, sorry. My name is Alit Kazikan, and my startup is Kazikan Motors. We work on electric go-karts and electric motorcycles. I think that the admission process in universities is quite similar to the matchmaking process between startups and investors. First of all, I want to say that startups should provide their short videos and according to the activities that investors provide while watching these videos, artificial intelligence can offer several startups to investors. And afterwards, after investors had a matchmaking with founders have to approve that they do want to work with this kind of investors. So, as I said before, the admission process in universities is quite similar to the matchmaking process because universities provide some kind of essays that they want to learn from the students. And in this admission process and matchmaking process, universities are like startups and students are like investors. So startups will provide their problems. One will be one technical and another one will be marketing. And the problem has to be already solved by the startup. And after investors provide their ideas and solutions for this kind of problems, these two solutions from investors and from startups will be compared to each other. And if the solutions are equal or investor solution is better, then I can say that it's a perfect match because investor is qualified enough to help this kind of startup. So this is the whole idea. First of all, we have to work on a platform that will focus on artificial intelligence, and then we have to focus on essays and recommendation letters. Also, both startups and investors will rate each other, so they will know about other sites in advance. Like they don't have to gather info about another site. So because the ratings will provide the branding and the status of the site. So in my own projects, I give a second person to solve a technical and marketing problem. So comparing these solutions, I can clarify if this person is qualified enough and starts my matchmaking process, like communicating with them and gathering information about them and discussing the problems that we will solve together in future.
Okay, Adilet,
So
you're right
thank you.
on time right now. So last slide, wonderful. So let's get some feedback. Thank you so much for presenting.
Yeah, Adalek, nice job. I thought you hit on a couple things that actually stood out that hasn't been talked about yet. It's just like kind of the approval process, the double opt-in really of what the investor, as much it will connect people, the investor needs to approve it. So that was interesting. The UX side of it, showing actually what it potentially could look like, was interesting. What you could have probably done better is that first slide of like problems and what's going on. Like we obviously know the problems, so I would have not stayed on that slide as long. Just given that, like, in a presentation, I like to kind of stay on that one fancy, pretty slide, because as you're talking, naturally, I think humans just tend to read, and then there's just two things going on. So I know the problems. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
I got it. What about the whole idea? What do you think about it? About the
I think it's similar
comparing
to
solutions?
Max's, right? I mean, it seemed pretty similar. Maybe I missed that if there wasn't too much. But Kristen, what do
You
you
guys should team up.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Adela,
know?
thank you so much. That was great. And I really, similar to what Charlie mentioned, like, I think you touched on some of the fine nuances that really make this such a challenging process. And I really like the way that you addressed like those double opt-in features. I think like spending social capital to introduce to people, like, it's a risk. It's a risk that like we all take anytime we make an introduction. So I really like your like acknowledgement of that, because it's like kind of the crux of the whole thing. Great job.
Can you repeat, please?
The fact that you touched on the challenges around making introductions and the social capital that you have to spend in order to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so
The
much.
thing that I have to work on?
I think she's saying that it was good that you mentioned that. That was very well.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I'm fine too.
Are you ready to go next?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
All right. Here we go. 3 minutes.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm Tony and I'm founder of Analytics, and today I'm excited to present our innovative solution to address the challenges Fidelity Investments faces in investor startup matchmaking. At Analytics, we began with the passion for analytics and a vision to bring a speed of and insight of digital tools to the business to consumer sector, and now we are ready to bring it to investor startup matchmaking. The main issue that we've identified is investor being overwhelmed by the vast amounts of information they receive during the matchmaking process. And our solution streamlines and consolidates this information, allowing investors to efficiently choose from the startups that fit the investment criteria. Talking about the solution, I present all-in-one platform that gathers, analyzes, and presents relevant data about startups, including customer feedback and market insights. Our solution stands out with its customer-driven focus, seamless experience with no setup required, comprehensive 360 degrees benchmarking, impact measurement, and added value data enrichment. Our project journey actually begins with gathering data from trusted data sources and platforms, followed by consolidating and presenting the data to investors. The solution can be easily integrated with any existing platform with no additional setup or integration required. And as a result, we provide the full experience analytics to any user of our solution. I can't say about the ROI at the moment, but by leveraging our advanced proprietary technologies, we can efficiently process large amounts of data at minimal cost and generating comprehensive insights from over 10 million SaaS solution reviews that we already collected from the platforms like G2, Capterra, and Software Advice. And our solution is capable of handling data across various industries, markets, and categories. Talking about the risks and mitigations and lessons, I would say that at the first to market with the startup intelligence and benchmarking solution, we recognize there are risks. We plan to mitigate these risks by forging strategic alliances and ensuring our solution remains agile and adaptive to the investor needs. If talking about the call to action and the conclusion, I would say that with Analytics, every startup and every investor can have an AI-powered tool to shape the future of any startup, product, service, and business as a whole. We want to to empower every investor to independently explore the market, competitors, and any startups at any given time. And I firmly believe that you can only manage what you can measure. I kindly invite you to evaluate our solution that we made already available for coffees and restaurants industry, and consider partnering with Realytics to make startups intelligence and matchmaking available to everyone in the market. Our proposed next steps, including signing a POC to create experience in analytics dashboards for startups, providing these solutions to your clients and investor network, and collaborating to package the solution for rapid growth and maximum value. Thank you very much and for your attention. And now I'm eager to answer any questions you may have at the moment.
Thank you so much. Almost exactly 3 minutes. Great. All right, let's get some feedback.
Thank you so much, Tony. I loved your presentation style. And I think that this is a smart solution that you propose. I think my only feedback or about the only sort of room for improvement might be on the sort of like density of words on slides. So like this slide, for example, if I were you, I would probably break this up into 3 different slides and have one around recap, one around next steps, one around corporate homework, because it's just sort of human nature to like want to read everything. And if you're like, all right, we're just going to talk about the recap, then my attention would have been there. And then you could have switched gears to next steps and my attention would have been there and then switched to corporate homework. So I tend to like more slides with less info per slide.
Yeah, I would love to do this next time.
Great job.
Can you give us some
Thank you.
feedback like on how relevant you think the solution might be?
Yes, I think like it is. I mean, I think it's very relevant. I think it brings efficiencies and scale that we do not have right now, while maintaining that sort of like personal touch.
All right, thank you. All right, wonderful. Charlie, anything to add to that?
Yeah, the user journey I thought was an interesting slide, and I think that you could have probably expanded that actual graphic. I was trying to like squint my eyes at that, and you had a lot of writing on there. So I thought that was a cool slide, and you could have kind of focused on that because it was obviously pretty thoughtful.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie.
Thank you so much. All right, so David mentioned that he's traveling, and so he will reconnect in a few minutes. So let's move on to Nicola, if you're ready. All
Can
right.
you see my slide?
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. This is Nicola Yu presenting for the Fidelity Innovation Challenge. At Fidelity, we aim to build long-term relationships with the investors, as well as attracting more amazing founders and foundable startups. Our solution is to build an enhanced platform, which is an upgrade from the current matchmakers in market, with several benefits, including more informed investment decisions, less investment mistakes by human judgment, as well as superior experience for both founders and investors. To achieve this, we need to figure out how to make the investors trust us, also how to determine the good founders. Several key points, including a very user-friendly interface, such as the one at the right of this slide. Also, we use ChatGPT to connect to LinkedIn, Crunchbase to aggregate the key data to select for the key KPIs that are driven by regression models. Those key KPIs will also become options for investors to select what they want to see. Also, we will make the founders' demographic anonymous. That will also be amazing for the to eliminate some of the human errors. So this is a graph of one of the current matchmakings in the market. So over the past few years, they have grown more than exponentially. With all the points we mentioned in this slide, once achieved, we will be better than them. Also, as of today, we still have a lot of VC dry powder in market. So we have a lot of market to acquire with this platform. Since we are really selective on the founders, there are several risks that first one, don't scare the founders away. To give them some incentives, we can offer mentor programs, resource sharing, network events. Also, that helps us build our reputation. Some of the action items, first, get enough users to start, which we already have. Collect the current investor and startup data into either Excel or Microsoft Access. Then start with a very simple user interface for both parties and to select their preferences, similar to the photo I pasted earlier. For the startup and investor side, there are data stuff to work on. Yeah, that's basically it. Let me know if there is any question. Everything I propose is very achievable.
Great, thank you so much. Feedback?
That was that was great. It was a beautiful presentation. I think the mix of colors and the fonts was great because it's catching my eye and it was like the main points. The relationship aspect is obviously the biggest thing, and it felt like you were listening to us yesterday. Let's put it that way. And you were solving for the problem. You met the addressable market. You showed that this is actually something that is needed, and somebody else is scaling it in a way, and so we could be doing that, and then also addressing the unfundable founders and giving them a conduit, a different route to run was interesting too. So you met a lot of things, and you listened, and you gave a nice solution back.
Thank you very much.
Also, I really like the way that you wove in like market data, examples of competitors. I think like those kinds of data points, those kinds of competitor like references are always really helpful in any pitch.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Great job, Nicola. Thank you. Next we have Jaime. Jaime, are you ready? Or Jamie? I'm sorry if I butchered that. All right, here we go. I think you might be muted. There might be an issue with the mic, maybe. Let's try again. Nope, still can't hear you. Maybe try rejoining and we'll just switch to the next participant. Bobby, if you're ready.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Sure. Wonderful. I think, can see a black screen right now. Is that what you're trying to share?
No, okay.
Nope, still can't see anything. Right, going through some technical difficulties, huh?
Yes.
2023, come on, guys. We should be, everything should be solved by now, right? All right, would you also like a couple minutes to fix that maybe? We can only see
Yes,
the screen.
yes,
Maybe try rejoining. All right. Next up, we have George or Michael. So George, if you're here, do you want to go next?
Sorry, I'm actually teammates with Maxime.
Oh, got it. Okay, Michael?
So we just had to have one person present at a time. Sorry about that.
No
So
worries.
clarified.
All right, Michael?
Okay, can you hear me?
All right, here we go.
Yes, great. Can you see my slides? Hello?
We can also, let me see. Yes, we can see your slides. So we need to switch
Okay, great.
options.
Okay,
Can everybody see the slides? I just want to make sure. Okay, wonderful.
great. Okay.
Wait, I don't know if I'm doing so. I can't see slides. Can you?
I think so. What you have to do is if you have view options on top there, and you have to choose Michael. Do you see that? You're viewing Michael, or you're viewing somebody's screen?
Yes, thank you.
All right, oh, Bobby, maybe you can just stop sharing also. That would help. Okay, so let's go, Michael. 3 minutes.
All right. Thank you very much. It's good morning from my place in Singapore. So this is Trinity Eco, and I'll begin my presentation. So just a brief introduction about my company. We do sustainability assessment systems and community building for banks and their clients. So we're already working with a number of banks and also working with clients as well. So I think the problem right now, I think just to reemphasize, is that the definition of investors and investee relationships are involved. No longer is financial performance just a indicator for business viability and performance. Now we also include ESG and other even work culture assessment, but also we recognize that there is a low compatibility between good businesses and good investors, and it can be in terms of non-alignment, in terms of strategy, interest, vision, geography, language, and etc. But also I think now we swarm with a lot of apps. I mean, AngelList, social media, LinkedIn, and so on. So people are looking for engagement, but technology has not really addressed that completely. So what we propose is a system called ABC. So stand for Audio Broadcast Connect Community and Communication. So we built this social audio platform a bit like Clubhouse. I don't know whether you heard of Clubhouse before or any recording systems, but basically a Clubhouse for community building, for pitching, and most importantly for allowing investors, clients, and partners engagement. So we make it very easy to use in terms of setting up and in terms of engaging people. We make it very efficient. You don't really need to use a computer to do your due diligence. You can use a phone. And lastly, it's about engagement. It's about building communities or just talking to someone next door. So one of the things that we estimate is we know the pricing, we know what is the best way forward, and we know how much engagement we can do if we use such an approach. We can at least engage about 700,000 people. And we, like I say, we don't just look at financial performance, but also environmental and social performance. And it's because I have a track record of doing all these performance systems before and etc. So one thing is that we make sure that it's approved by Fidelity when it comes to engaging investors or investees. And secondly is about making sure that they can get all this information quickly. So that's why I propose a Linktree approach, because you can see Linktree, you can get all this information from pitch deck to name cards to even contact details. And it's all about making sure that they can communicate with them in terms of 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes pictures. And sometimes it's not just about getting investors, sometimes it's getting clients. So we propose a more monetization model of it. But lastly, the data rooms that we built is exportable and evaluates more than just financial scores, but also ESG scores as well. And it's incentivized based. So we're not there to punish the investees when they do badly. We are there to help them. Yeah. So last thing is that and my experience with working with startups and with communities helped me to build this idea. And compared to other competitors, we are high engagement and we make it easier to fundraise or build relationships. So call to action is that we already got like people coming on board already. It's because recently Clubhouse UX and UI is very bad, and we are trying to move to another system where we can do all this stuff. And lastly is that due diligence engagement need not be just paperwork. It's all about building an ecosystem and building relationship. Yeah, thank you.
I love that I gotta say that last sentence, that due diligence is not just paperwork, but it's building an ecosystem. I think that's very philosophical, but yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you so much, Michael. That was great. That was right on time too. Any feedback?
Kristen, you want to go? All right. I mean, I'll give you my general thoughts here is that the presentation was amazing. I think you were probably one of the most clear in the presentation, and it was laid out properly. The relevance of this, I was a little unclear about on the ESG side, and generally the audio room side, like, and having people pay for this. Twitter has Spaces, there's Clubhouse. Just trying to understand the difference between this and then the ESG side. If we were a fund that was focused on ESG investments, I could understand that a little bit more, that component. But we're kind of trying to create a marketplace for all different types of verticals and all different types, and I just kind of got lost there.
Yeah, similarly, great job. I think that, as Anastasia touched on, like your acknowledgement of like the ecosystem building was really smart. I think that's a really important point. I do think just like in general, like the more kind of clear cut and narrow and focused the pitch is, just like the better. Like I once heard somebody say that like anytime you're pitching to an investor, or like you want to like eliminate any mental distractions possible. And so I think like eliminating, you know, even like commentary on ESG, for example, just to keep the narrative really tight would be helpful.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. So we have, I think, two
Thank you so
participants
much.
left, right? So we have Jamie, Jaime, and
Jamie, can you hear me now?
Jamie. Got it. Yes, we can hear you, Jamie. Here we go. Yay! All right, ready to pitch? You have-
Give me a second. Okay, can you see my screen and everything is ready?
Yes, we can see you. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm the founder of Chump. In my team, I'm joined by Christian and Juanjo. We have experience in traditional businesses and startups. Funder is the first startup in groundwork to break through, taking innovation to the new height. Several of the world's most valuable companies had humble beginnings as startups and were founded by influential entrepreneurs. Past 5 years, the number of first-time venture capital financing deals fell worldwide. The current process of matchmaking startup founders and investors is manual, lacks scalability, and hinders the tracking of innovative ideas, causing qualified startups to get lost in the system. Funder could start with an idea or at any stage of a startup. The investors, founders, and team create a robust profile with personal statement, 16 personality, golden circle, resume. Funders upload the problem and solution. Using IE, the system creates challenges for evaluation till the startup has enough data to validate the idea. When the startup gets to a level, the system introduces the project to the Fidelity team, where they can involve investors, teaching IE how to introduce startups to investors. We have experience in user experience with our Chum platform, even though it goes to solo travelers. As IE learns, matchmaking becomes automatic. In addition, blockchain creates a more secure platform. Funder, where investors meet innovation. Boost your startup today.
Great, thank you so much. Wonderful. All right, any feedback? Short and concise.
I love your presentation style. I feel like you just have like such like charisma, and like you are very magnetic. Also, I thought your slides were beautiful.
Thank you. We just created it in 24 hours.
Was that the designer behind you laughing? Was that the designer of the slides?
No, I was a designer.
Oh, you were the designer. All right. All right, great. Charlie, any feedback?
I'm with Kristen. The amazing presentation. The slides are amazing. I even saw that you tailored it. You have Kristen and I's name in there right there. I took a screenshot of that. So bonus points for that. That's amazing.
Okay. How relevant do you think the project is? The idea is?
I think it's aligned, so it makes sense.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So I think we have one more left. Bobby, are you ready to go? Did you figure out your screen sharing?
Yes, Virgo is going to share my screen.
All right, wonderful. Veronica. Oh, so now we have to, okay, here we go. Great.
Hi everyone, my name is Oscar, founder of Bluff. I have to say Bluff is a company that I've developed specifically for Fidelity. Next screen, please. The problem said to me is that we are trying to connect startups to investors efficiently using artificial intelligence. And the relevance is as a different company that I'm developing. We leverage AI and machine learning to create algorithms to collect and analyze data from animals to diagnose of diseases. The same can be utilized to predict the probability of a startup being a right match to an investor early enough to avoid time wastage. The integrated solution is we will develop a matchmaking software using AI that leverages advanced algorithms that consider compatibility, geographical preference, industry preference, preferred investment stage like pre-seed, seed, and investment. And very major unique selling proposition is it will be precision, speed, and efficiency. This is our user experience. A startup opens an account, fills in precise details of the startup, and the AI analyzes data and sorts it according to geography, industry, stage, and investment readiness. From the other side, the investor logs into his account, feeds the specific factors he's considering, and the software matches the startup and the investor according to the parameters requested by the investor. This is business impact and scalability based on assumptions. But without bluff, you can see that the engagements will be less because even the speed and the precision will be much, much less. Actually, I have to add, please go up a bit. The risk involved is that startups may give incorrect information to gain unfair advantage. And the investors might narrow so much and miss on a promising startup. However, the mitigation is that as the AI continuously updates startup development through surfing social media and other relevant sources. And the software platform should be flexible enough to absorb more data, refine the data even further, and be able to handle even higher traffic. So to conclude, is a viable product that, if developed properly, would be a game changer in the startup investor matchmaking process. And with the ability of funds to develop the software, we would be able to develop at least an MVP in 4 months. And we would require at least Fidelity to provide the startup data in their possession so as to refine it using Bluff and use it for testing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Feedback?
I think you got the relevance, you got the content down, the presentation, as I think you heard from our recent feedback, we like the pictures, kind of just reading off the notes to us. But overall, very relevant, good idea. I would work on the engagement of the presentation, just trying to be more like highlight what you want to focus on each page.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Kristen, anything to add about the presentation skills?
Nothing to add. Great job. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So David is finally back with us. I think that's the last pitch, right? Nobody else? Nobody else we missed? No? All right, so David, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, everyone. My name is David, and I'm the founder and CEO of Asana Pay. I'm here to talk to you about Radar, a moderated AI venture matching solution for startups and investors. We're proudly backed by AWS startups. The problem we're trying to solve is the time-consuming nature it takes, the time it takes for matchmaking to happen in a traditional sense for Fidelity. Also, we're trying to reduce the manual effort it takes to review each venture as part of the matchmaking process. The relevance is primarily around the fact that we're building an AI moderated engine based on AWS's augmented AI solution. This platform ingests onboarding data, and then it suggests to the ventures and to the investors based on set criteria and based on set thresholds. I am a 2-time founder, and I also am super excited because we have a robust stack that will help address this need. The solution in much detail is a moderated AI matchmaking solution. What makes this solution unique is primarily the fact that it consumes data, not just onboarding data, but video, audio, and text. It also is an interactive dashboard, which will push automated text messages and in-app notifications to investors based on set thresholds. Investors and startups as well can set and add ventures to their FOMO list and also to ventures to watch list based on high growth potential startups that have a shorter time to reach $1 billion milestone or based on this particular criteria. Also, the platform allows for moderation by the Fidelity team based on set criteria. The flow is, the objective is to help grow assets under management from $4.5 trillion of Fidelity today to over $12 trillion by 2028. Also to increase year-on-year growth in referrals by 50%. Some of the key risks primarily is around full automation, which will lead to false positives based on AI. So what moderation does is it allows Fidelity to get alerts based on suggestions that are not entirely correct, and the Fidelity team would then review and correct accordingly. Also, it helps to address FOMO that investors do feel because they do not want to miss out on an opportunity. So what this platform does is it allows the investor to auto-customize their FOMO list and not miss out on potential opportunities in the future. Sorry, I missed the flow. There's a customer, basically the way it works is the customer, as the startup signs up, the AI ingests the full information at onboarding, and then the AI then suggests based on the set criteria. The investor has the option of engaging the startup immediately, or they can then engage the startup when they are satisfied and they are comfortable. In a nutshell, we are super excited to work with Fidelity to roll out RIDA, a moderated AI matchmaking solution. After a successful NDA sign-off by next month, we're happy to roll out a pilot by April of 2024 and launch by October of 2024. We also would look forward to some support from Fidelity to gather a data room that will have all the necessary data and also help with a process review for us to scale up and develop the solution in its entirety. Thank you very much, and I'll take any questions you have.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Very straightforward. All right, who wants to go first, Charlie or Kristen?
I'll jump in. I think you have the unfair advantage that you're a two-time founder and you have the AWS logo on there. That is something that certainly helps out quite a bit. I think you went through this pretty good, and the whole FOMO aspect, I think, is a unique feature that I hear a lot, that these VC and it's a strategy essentially on the startup side, and it will engage. This is the one thing I kind of was missing from some of the others. It's like, how are we going to engage the VCs? And that text messaging aspect, creating the FOMO tools, creating the layered approach of how to matchmake. I thought it was good. It was good.
Yeah, the only other thing oh, sorry, go ahead. The only other thing I would add, so first of all, just really loved your presentation style. It was great. At first, I didn't love the way that you touched on like assets under management, because that's not like totally the goal of our business unit that's focusing on this cap table. But I actually think that was like a really, the more I thought about it, you know, and actually like sort of Charlie and I were having a conversation about this in the past of like, actually that's sort of the end goal of what our business unit is doing, is like we are trying to work with founders, bring them onto our cap table solution so that they stay with us as they IPO and beyond, and then they have assets to let Fidelity manage. And so like in reality, you actually connected the dots in a really like sophisticated strategic way about like Fidelity's sort of larger business strategy. So I really like that as well.
Thank you very much for the feedback.
Thank you so much. Okay, and I think that concludes our pitches for today. So thank you guys so much for sharing your presentations and the pitches. And right now I would like to do, we still have about 10 minutes left in this. So I have a little text for you guys. So I did not realize about the chat and, you know, kind of like the messages being blocked. So I came up with a little bit of a creative way for us to share the results. So what I would love for you guys to do is to take a couple minutes, maybe turn the videos off, turn your audios off. I'm talking to Charlie and Kristen right now. Get a pen if you have one. I hope you have one around, and a piece of paper, and review your notes. Take a couple minutes and write down 3 names that you thought, you know, had the best pitches today. And I don't want you guys to kind of like talk about it to each other, you know, let's just get your honest thoughts out. So take a couple minutes, a pen and a paper, and just 3 names, and we're gonna just show them on the screen. How does that sound?
You want us to rank them, or do you want just to put them in?
I would say pick the 3 solutions or the 3 names that you thought either were the most relevant ones or the ones that you just maybe loved the most.
Okay.
All right.
I got them, but I'll write them down for the big reveal.
Yeah, exactly. The big reveal. All right, wonderful. So let's give them a couple minutes. How is everybody else doing? I know it's pretty late where some of you guys are. So is everybody feeling good? No. Veronica, maybe you can talk to me. I think
Yeah. I think it was amazing. You guys did such a wonderful job for just 24 hours. I'm really amazed. Oh,
yeah.
Michael is saying like it's 4:48 a.m. there.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
in Singapore, right? So
Yeah.
super-
It's like,
Yes.
yeah. We were trying to find a time that works for everybody, but unfortunately, we also kind of have to stick to, the working hours here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining and joining so late for some of you. All right, Charlie's ready. Are you guys ready? Wow, that was fast. Okay, ready? So I'll take a picture too. 1, 2, 3.
There.
Okay, so I can see Nicola, wow, David, and what? No way! Did you talk about this?
No, we did not.
No way! You did
You literally have the same three?
Yes,
Same order too.
in the same order. Oh my God, no way! So
Also, Charlie and I have the same birthday, so we might be twins separated at birth. You just never know.
I guess it must be it. You must be like mentally. Nobody's gonna believe me if I say it's not rigged. Like they're just gonna say that you guys just talked, about it. So that's amazing. So Nicola, David, and Jamie, right? That was the order.
Well, you said no order, so I didn't. It was not in order. Just
Okay, so it was just like the 3 top ones.
yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you guys so much. So I think we have our winners. So as promised, we're going to feature you in some of our content newsletters posts. Nicola, David, and Jamie, you guys are the lucky ones. I'm so happy to see, Nicola. Like that's amazing. Like I actually know Nicola for a while, and that's great. Congrats.
Thank you so
and
much for this opportunity.
yeah. And for the rest of you guys, we will be sending out a certificate of participation. Thank you so much. This was amazing. I'm so happy to get to know all of you, and let's stay in touch. We're going to have a lot more events coming up. So, stay tuned. And Charlie, Kristen, thank you so much again for your time. You were wonderful judges, wonderful presenters. And I think we all learned a lot more about Fidelity, about you guys, and, all kind of brainstorm and kind of got more creative over the past 2 days. So that was great.
Thank you for having us, and such an incredible, it was like so hard. Like everybody did such an incredible job. Thank you for including us. This was wonderful.
Yep. If I would say just feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. Here to support you and try to, guide you wherever in your journey and, where it goes.
All right. Great. Thank you,
Great
guys.
job, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.